Do you remember when Witchtok tried to hex the moon? Well, here's some witchcraft you've probably never heard of. Killing the moon as a rite of passage. So about 3 years ago, which is, let's say, 10 years in TikTok time, an unknown group of rogue witches tried to hex the moon. I think I know where this idea comes from. So in North American folk magic, mostly surrounding Appalachia, there is some witchy lore around an initiation into becoming a witch. And this rite of passage is known as killing the moon. So this involved shooting a silver bullet at the moon. During the origins of this lore is when people believed that a silver bullet was the way to end a witch. You would shoot a silver bullet at the moon. If the moon bled, it would mean that you had become a witch, and the rite was successful. But here's the tea. This rite of passage, this idea of killing the moon, was symbolic, as many things in witchcraft are symbolic. I think that a group of young rogue witches read a book and found this rite of passage, this ritual to become a witch, and they took it literally without understanding the context. So, if it's symbolic, what does this ritual mean? So, in this particular lore, the sun and the moon represent the mother and father of witchcraft. And this ritual, the rite of passage, the initiation to become a witch, it represents sacrifice, self-sacrifice. The idea was to sacrifice your old self, renounce your old ways, and more often than not, specifically your Christian faith. And there were other ways to do this as well. Sometimes that involved doing a little song and dance under the moon with no clothes on, if you know what I mean. It could have been a dark baptism, saying the Lord's Prayer backwards, and oftentimes it did involve the devil. Not today, Satan. Now, not all witches worship the devil or work with the devil or even believe in the devil. There are many atheist witches. So I think this little bit of witch lore is definitely where this group of rogue witches got the idea to hex the moon. They probably just didn't understand what the initiation and what the lore actually meant. But anyways, there's some witchy lore for you that you probably didn't know about. And remember, if you are reading occult literature and you find something that you're not sure about, don't be afraid to ask the witches in your community because someone is bound to have an answer. It's better to ask questions than to go around hexing celestial bodies on a Friday night.